Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. How's everyone doing? Welcome to my stream. My name is Dudezord, and I stream mostly game development stuff. Um, this is this isn't didn't change the scene, did it? Hold on, it did not. Fail on me. What about now? Now it. What the hell is not working? Hold on. Ay ay ay. Stream Deck doesn't want to work. Okay, what about now? Also no. Oh. Um. Hello, Simonot. Yeah, the Stream Deck is not changing the scene. Somehow. What happened, little bruh? What the hell? Hold on. No instances found of StreamBot. Like, it's literally open and running. What do you mean? Hold on. Technical difficulties. Yeah. Maybe I need to restart StreamerBot. Hold on. I need like a checkup list or some automated checker, you know? So this stuff doesn't happen again in the future. But it seems to me that Elgato, the Stream Deck, is the one that is like messing up somehow. Um. Okay, might as well change the scene manually, so at least you guys have something to look at. People, hey. It's not this one, it's this one. Hola, everyone. I'm having issues. Yeah, I'm having issues. Stream Deck is not connecting to anything, not even to OBS. Well, it's probably connecting to OBS. Hold on. Okay, it's connecting to OBS, but it's not connecting to StreamerBot. Like, it doesn't even have the actions configured. Okay, it says selected action unavailable because it is saying no instances found. But like, it is connected, my guy. Did it reset the thing? Oh. Hooray! We did it! Yeah, it lost the StreamerBot config somehow. Which is not ideal. Let's test. Yep, working. Good job. Good job, me. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new week of development. My name is Dudezord, and I stream game development mostly. And yeah, today we'll be working on our little Game Boy emulator that we are building in Rust. This is like the fourth week of development. It's not continuous development, but yeah, we work on it like, I don't know, like 10 hours a week or something on it. So we are already like 40 hours down on the Game Boy. And I mean, it works, you know? Like, it literally works. See, like Nintendo scrolling down. Then it shows the Tetris all rights reserved screen. Then we need to wait a little bit, and then it goes to the main menu of Tetris. You have control over the cursor, and I mean you can play. You can play. I mean it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm really happy with how the project is going. But yeah, if you notice, there's no in Game Boy audio, which means that we'll need to implement audio ourselves. How do you do that? Absolutely zero idea. I've never worked with audio implementation before, as far as I can tell. I'm pretty sure I've never worked with audio development before, so I have no idea what I need to do. So let's try to figure this out, okay? Let me just... Ping! GG. We won. So, if you guys have worked with audio before, I would really appreciate if you guys could backseat me on this one, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, right? I have zero clue. That being said, I've already read all of this, okay, the audio architecture part of the Game Boy, so I kind of have an idea of what is happening. Essentially, the Game Boy has 4 channels that are configurable by like 4 different registers, and then you have the mixer and the amplifier, which are another 2 or 3 registers that it's used to program the sound and like the fade in, fade out between the different registers and all of that stuff. And then, if you remember, last week we implemented this divider register thing, which is essentially always counting every 4 ticks or every 4 clock cycles or something on the Game Boy. And then essentially the audio thread, let's call it that, is driven by that div value, but the audio thread only ticks once per each 4 ticks of the div counter, you know? And essentially each one of those ticks on the audio thread will be used to essentially call tick in each one of these channels, which will get you like the amplitude and the frequency for that sound at that specific time in these channels. Then you have to mix them, amplifying and outputting. I think this is just gonna be like lots of math, essentially, that I don't know how to actually code. Like I don't know what the hell an envelope is, for example. And then we need to somehow output this somewhere, which is better said than done because I have no idea how to do that. So I would say that we better might starting with figuring out how to generate sounds and outputting sounds in Rust, trying to attach some sort of small demo or example or something to the current code. And once we have actually sound coming out from the Game Boy, then we will try to plug in the entire audio stuff. I would say the audio stuff will probably take like another 2 entire days of development, which will probably today and tomorrow. So yeah, that's the plan. Let me know if you guys approve of the plan. If I sound weird, is because I'm having like tons of allergies, by the way. So apologies in advance. But I'm like here suffering. But streamer life dictates that I can never skip a day, so... Or else all of my viewers will run away towards another stream. True. Okay. We need to figure out what the hell we need to use with Rust to generate like audio in Rust. So let's see what the hell this does. I mean, this is essentially like number one already. Okay, popular. Wave encoding. I don't think we do wave encoding. Extraction for audio PCM DSP samples along with usable conversions and operators. I think this is digital signal processing. I don't know what is PCM. It's like pulse something modulated. This is a sample though. Of DASP. What the hell is DASP? Digital audio signal processing in Rust. Okay. Suite of crates providing. No. I don't need multiple crates, do I? Holy. Okay, I'm scared already. Okay, 76 releases. Ooh, almost 1 million downloads this month. Oh, I forgot to say good morning, Samanot. I don't know if I said it or not. Hello. How are you? How was your weekend? Tons of vibe coding this weekend? Pretty sure you had a couple of vibe coding sessions in there. I mean, these the same proper audio hosts, enumerate, build and run input and output PCM streams on a chosen device with a given stream format. Okay, I mean, these the same cross-platform. Okay, do we have GitHub repo? Do they have like samples? Let's look at samples. Beep. Okay. Beep. What does this do? This just it's commands, I see. Okay, so it creates some sort of device, default output device, which I think is what we are going to use. Then this is a what? This is returning the sample format. Okay, so it runs the device with one of the formats that it supports, and we kind of specify the order or the priority that we want here. And then we have a clock, and it, what does this do? Okay, it's build output stream and then writes data there. Okay, I think this is what we want. Hello, TS Just. Good morning. Hello. Happy New Week. Holy subscriber already. Thank you very much, TS Just. Thank you very much. Now the cat gets to eat again. GG's. Is it really time for people to resub again? Damn. Okay. I did a... Sorry if you constantly see me like blowing my nose or something, but I'm suffering here. Yesterday, I did some more vibe coding. You know? Some proper vibe coding. Look at this. This is the regular viewer monitor, where when we get non-followers watching, I keep like a counter of them. Ignore the leaks. We just care about these to one now. But see, now I even put like the little badges. You see? And now you have TS Just ×2. Congrats, you were the first time to subscriber. But I mean, pretty cool, pretty cool. I like it, I like it. Yeah, I can understand the kind of creepy vibes, but it's to help me manage the energy, you know? Because if I have non-followers watching, I need to be a little bit more pumped up. But yeah, if it's mostly regular followers, I can... Adukanen, yeah, I knew you were there. Sorry, my guy. Hello, happy new week. Welcome, welcome. How was your weekend, everyone? How was your weekend? Mine was pretty chill. I mostly stayed at home. I went to one of those I don't know even how to call it, like a market, but where random people go to try to sell their stuff. And it was mostly junk. So yeah, pretty nice weekend. Nice. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, I was hoping that here we would like have sun and all, but it has been raining. It has been like raining, and then the rain brings out the dust that is in the air that is like coming from Africa for some reason. So everything is super dirty right now. Everything is like super muddy. Sucks. Pics. I might have something. Hold on. My wife did take some pictures. Where is it? Okay, I'll need to change the screen so I don't leak my WhatsApp. Hold on. Oh man, allergies are not fun. And it's weird because last year I took the same medicine that I'm taking right now. But last week I didn't have any allergies, and this year I'm having pretty much every 2 days already, which is not fun at all. Where the hell is this? Okay, it's not this one. So many freaking YouTube chats, you know. Okay. I got you a picture. Hold on. Hold on. It's uploading. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Close. And we go back here. I mean, yeah. This is just all from one rain session. Yeah. Those are so dirty. Yeah, I mean, this is my wife's car. But she's dirty as well, so. Yeah, but it's like very, very fine dust. And I'm probably having some sort of allergic reaction to it. Yeah, I don't know, it's very weird. It's very weird. But yeah. Pretty much like every car is like this right now. Time to play GeoGuessr. I mean, sure. Or you can ask Simonot, he has my address. So essentially you run this, it has like a clock, and then you build an output stream, you pass a callback that does like weird shit here, and then you essentially call play, and then you sleep for 1 second. So this is like create a beep for 1 second. I mean, I like this plan. So maybe this is the library that we use, you know. So cargo add cpol GG. Okay, what now? What do I need to do here? I'll probably want to create a APU RS, which will kind of be the audio processing unit, you know, APU RS. Then I mean, maybe I just want to yoink this. No, I don't need all of this. You need to chill. I don't care about this. I don't care about this. What do I do here? Struct APU. Impl APU. I'll check for flags. Okay, what are the default flags? They're all false. I mean, if they're all false, then I really do not care about any of this. Manual check for flags. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Device. What the hell is that device? Host. Oh. No, it's this. And wrap. Okay, then these calls like self-run. Okay. Okay, let's do this properly. I want to figure out exactly how all of this crap works. So I'll write the code myself. I don't want to be yoinking code again, like so early in the morning, you know. Yoinking is a last resort mechanism. So let's see how we do this. Dudzo yoink, yeah. I'm still waiting for that yoink sound that Simon had promised me. I mean, he didn't send me one, but I kind of didn't like it, so we need another one. Or maybe I can just like record myself saying yoink, but I don't know. I have no clue. Okay, so essentially I call it new and run. Okay, cool. Okay, so here it's gonna be called APU. I mean, I don't know if I need any of this, and then I call APU.run. Good job, me. Good job, me. Okay, so here I'll need to have a new APU, and then I'll need to have a run. Probably mood self run. Yeah, good job. So this is I guess the format that we want for this. Create tuple structure. No, my guy, it's like here. Oh, it needs to be pub. I see. And then this needs to be pub. This needs to be pub. What are you complaining about? Use of undeclared type. Okay. Okay, so here we do new. Okay, will we even be able to grab all of these from a new thread? Who the hell knows, right? Who the hell knows? I mean, but we'll have a device which is going to be like an option device, CPAL device, probably. Good job. And here I can pass like a device none, right? And then I call or I can do like let mute APU equals this, and then I return APU, and then here I do like a APU initialize or something, you know. And then here on APU initialize I can build this or I can just return this, and then I can do if self device is none, then I call self dot initialize. Yeah. None. Yes. Maybe this is better. I don't know. But essentially, what are we going to need to do? I guess we'll need to create some sort of device. And this device will be a... Oh, we need to create a host and then a device. Okay, so host is going to be default host. Okay, what the hell is the host? I mean, can you tell me what the host is? What does it mean to be a host? People, great. No. I went to docs for this. Yep. Good job. A host provides access to the available audio devices on the system. Okay, so the host is the machine, and then the device is which one of those audio devices. So one host can have multiple devices. I see. And then device is going to be default output device. Okay, and then self device equals device. Huh? Oh. Some device. Yes. Or this. No. I'm wrong. Yes. Okay, then we also have some sort of config, apparently. Default config. Oh, because it has been moved. I see. Okay, so what do I do with the config? Or the config is just to then build the output stream. I see. Because then I can essentially modify the config. Okay. Okay. Okay, so device config, then the config gets the sample format. No, this calls run with this. Okay, then run is like a free running. I mean, no, this isn't a free running thing. But I'll need to call run on this. Self config. Some config. Supported stream config. Okay. Okay, so now I need to import this one here. Good job. And config none. Okay, so this tries to initialize. Okay, and here, if I'm not able to initialize, I might as well just return here, you know? And you need to initialize audio. Okay, now this returns a bool. This will return a true. Default output config. What? Oh. If let some device equals this. Okay. If let some config equals device dot default this. This is going to be returned true. This is going to be a false. And then here I do this and self config equals that. Okay. Where's the issue now? Expected result. Why would this be a an option is a result. I mean, whatever. Okay. Okay, at the very least, this should get us to initialize the audio. Let's see what the hell these logs now. But hopefully. Okay, initializing audio, good job. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to figure out what are we going to be running. Okay, let me see what write data takes. Okay, this just takes the next sample, which is the value here, which is essentially calculating the frequency for the sound. But then it writes for each one of these channels, it gets the value from the sample. Next sample. What the hell does next sample do? No, so I pass the data where I'm going to be writing this. Then I pass the channels. Then I pass a function. Oh, so this is like a callback function. I see. Okay, so I'll need to build this once. And then call play. And then how do I how am I supposed to manage this in a thread? You know, because if this plays for 1 second, so I must assume that this audio thing will always be running. But maybe this example is not the best one. Custom, I mean, audio thread. Oh, it is just iterators. I don't care for any of these. Oh my god, this is even more complicated. Nah, bro. I just want to run this in a thread, you know? Should be pretty simple. Okay, so this makes the stream and returns the stream. Okay, where is this being called? Here. And this results the stream. Stream setup. Okay, so I call the stream. I click play, then it sleeps for 4 seconds. Well, the thing is I don't want it to sleep, you know? I really do not want it to sleep. So do I need to call these and then make like an infinite while loop that waits for messages from the CPU to know when to shut down.
That was good. Can you please take a picture? Sure.
Maybe. Because this essentially looks like it's gonna create even its own thread on top of my thread, you know? Is this what we want? I mean, I don't know. I do not know, sir. Config channel sample clock. Okay. What is the best way for me to do this? Okay, initializing already towards the device and the config. And I'll need to use the sample format, which is config.sample format, or self.config.nwrap.sample format. Cannot move out. Oof, okay. Let config equals self dot. Okay, config. Okay, then on run, I take the T type, which is going to be this, but doesn't matter that much for now. But we'll have a sample rate. We'll have the number of channels. I mean, for now we better try generate this and see what the hell happens. Okay, you want this as an F32, you want this as a use size. Okay. As F32 and as use size. Let's see. Okay, then I need to create a stream. We build output stream, and this takes the config. This takes a callback. Which should be a I guess I can call it tick or something. Because this will call for every single as fast as possible, I would guess. But for the frequency of this audio stream, which can be like 40,000 times a second or something. We'll get there. Okay. Duration from seconds, that's to 5. Okay, I want to actually see if these outputs audio to begin with. Okay, what do I need here? This method takes 4 arguments, but I mean, sure. So it's this, then it's a error function, and then a none. Whatever that none is, that none is going to be a timeout. Optional timeout for backend operations. None indicates blocking behavior. I don't know if I want a timeout. I have no idea if I want a timeout. But I guess we will find out sooner or later. Can I create it like a that'll call back from here? Can I do like something like this here? And then here pass a data callback. And this would be sweet. This would be sweet. Okay, just skip ahead. So it randomizes. Hell yeah. Okay, cpolicy stream.config. Config into. Let's see. Oh no, I need to pass a config.into here. Somehow. Can I pass a self there? I won't be able to pass a self in here. Or will I? Maybe I will. Borrowed data escapes outside of method. Self escapes the method body here. Okay, but like, can you tell me what I can do? What is the solution here then? Because this write data is not attached to anything. Too many meetings. I'm sorry, Simonot. Yeah, it happens when you have a proper job, you know? Proper job equals meetings. And if you have a fake job like I do, then you are your own boss. GG's. GG's. What the hell do I do here? What the hell do I do here? This is like a callback. I'm trying to figure out how the hell can I do stuff here. Okay, let's simplify. Let's simplify. Let's first start with the same code that they have, and then we will be able to play around, you know? Play around. So here, I will want to call write data and pass data, channels, and mute and calculate next value. Okay, and then I'll have a write data here. I've been deemed a critical supplier, so now I have to answer 500 questions about how everything is done. Well, congratulations on the how do you say it? Not upgrade, but on being a oh my god, I don't know the word when you get like not a raise, but when you get like more responsibilities. Do you have a policy about how policies are written? Yeah. Can't you delegate them to ask ChatGPT instead? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, never mind. Check channels, let value equals next sample for sample in frame. I mean, this is just writing raw data to the buffer. I mean, this is fine for now. Closure is expected to take one argument, but it takes 0. Why? What's the issue, my guy? I mean, I literally have everything here. Like, it's the same. Can you please work? What's the issue with this? It's because like it's a F32 or something. And then data needs to be F32 as well. Or something. Cannot find. Oh. Oh my god. Okay, where T is a sample plus from sample. F32. Oh, okay, I see the issue. It's supposed to be this. Okay, I need to import this, I need to import that. Write data needs to take this somehow. Okay, and next sample. I mean, I don't know. What's the issue now? Expected T found F32. T. What the hell? Pub trait. Okay. Who implements this? How do I create a sample F32 type? You know? Okay, so I have here this, but who implements this? Float sample. Will this work? No. No, but this needs to implement both at the same time. I see. Okay, so this tries to initialize that. So should I build the same stream there on initialize? How the hell do I do this? Okay, this T needs to be a generic value. Which means that I will need to move this to like another method, essentially. As you wait. But then it always returns an F32. I see. Do I call it run helper? Pow, pow, pow. This is very weird. Very weird. Does this exist to be imported? No, it does not. Okay. Okay, so now we'll actually need to have a run helper. Because why not? You know? Because why not? And this is gonna take a T. And then this T. Oops. Will be a sized sample plus from sample F32. Okay. And now we need to import this. Okay, and we take a device. Okay, and we'll take a device and the config. Okay, good job. Okay, so now this is a T-type. So now all of this should work. But what the hell is wrong with this? Oh, it's a T from sample. I see. Okay. We are about to figure out if we have some sort of audio sample. This can be very loud. Oh, I just saw I just thought yes, just a subscriber message. Dudes, where are the emotes? I know, my guy. I know. I'm gonna put it on my to-do list and forget about it forever. I have a streaming to do. TS just requires emotes. GG. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna click play or run. This is probably gonna sound very loud, very noisy, so I apologize in advance. Okay. Yep. Stop. Stop. Oh my god. Stop. Sorry. Yep. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Wakey wakey. Ay ay ay. Okay. At least it worked. At least it worked. Okay. 1 second only now. Okay. GG. Okay. So we have this kind of plugged in now, which is pretty awesome. So I guess we can now just ignore all of this and go back to the Game Boy implementation, I guess. What do I want to do here? What do I want to do here? Okay, so I have this run helper. I have this little sound generator, which will be essentially what we are gonna use. I would very much enjoy to move this somehow into tick, you know. Let sample clock equals self dot sample clock. And maybe I can put the sample clock here. We have 32. Sample clock 0. 0.0. How am I gonna do this? Because essentially okay, so let me think about this. We have the CPU, which has the div counter, the divider counter, which is counting pretty much every clock cycle. And then we have the APU, which ticks every 4 div ticks on the CPU, you know. So that means that first I will need to create a CPU to APU transmitter and receiver. Right, so something like this. Something like this. And then here I'll have a CPU to APU. CPU to APU. CPU to APU. Okay, this part here is done. And here I'll have a CPU receiver. I'll have a CPU receiver, which I'll need to store. You know. And the CPU receiver is gonna be a result of message. Helgardia redeemed first. Ay ay ay. Good job, my guy. Hello. Happy new week. How was your weekend? Good job, good job. Always busy. I can imagine. I can imagine. Okay, so this part here is working. Then I have the handle div register, which essentially every 4 increments I do something. Yeah, vibe coders get more done. I mean, yesterday I pretty much was able to one-shot an entire audio implementation for this, just to have an idea on how things would kind of work. I mean, it pretty much matched the idea that I had, which was like creating its own thread and stuff. But yeah, now I'm trying to actually figure out how to use this library, which is called CPAL, something audio library. And I mean, it's being tough. It's being tough, mostly because of these weird, not Unreal, Rust. Yeah, Rust things. Replace field access expression with method call. No, that's not what I want. Shut up. But yeah. Yeah. But in any case, this is part of what I want to do. But the thing is, every n ticks. Okay, every n ticks. So I'll be getting ticks from the CPU. And every n ticks, I need to tick the APU. So I'll need to also getting the advanced stuff here implemented. And when I need to advance, so same thing we do for the PPU, right? So on the PPU we are like counting advances from the CPU. And whenever we actually need to do something, it's when we do it. So I think I'll need to do the same thing here. But I cannot figure out the architecture for this. You know? I mean, I already know about the audio registers. I don't care that much for this. But yeah, there's the APU. All interfaces to the APU use duration instead of frequencies, which may be confusing as signal theory and music are more typical always on the latter. Those durations will be expressed from their frequencies. For example, 256 Hz tick means 1/25/26 of a second. Yes. I mean, I just want to figure out how this thing works. So there are the registers, which is whatever. Then I have the audio details. Where did I see that it was driven by the div counter? Oh, it's here. The div APU counter is increased every time div's bit 4 goes from 1 to 0. Therefore at a frequency of 512 Hz. Thus, the counter can be made to increase faster by writing to div while its relevant bit is set. The following events occur every n div APU ticks. Okay. Okay, so first things first. I need to figure out this. At a frequency of 512 Hz. Okay. Okay, so here on the CPU, I'm already using like these handle div register shenanigans, which every 64 cycles it increments div. So what I'll need to do, is I'll need to check if the old div bit 4 was 1 and the new div bit 4 is 0. And if that happens, then I call an advance on the APU. I think. So let's see. If get bit old div bit 4 0 equals 0 equals 1 and get bit new div bit 4 equals 0. Oh, this needs to be a value. Are you sure? Oh, I see. Then old div equals div as you wait. Div, and then let new div equals div as you wait. Okay, so whenever we do this, I'll need to do a CPU to APU dot send message and advance by 1, I guess. Maybe. So then on the APU somehow it's gonna be running. It's gonna call run helper. And run helper will do all of this, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to do this while well, okay, message equals this. Oh, that. Well, let okay, message. Match message. Okay, it's going to be a message advance. self APU, no, self.div equals 1 plus equals count. Okay, so here it means that I'm gonna have my own div. Okay, what is the size of the actual div again? When does it loop around? Oh, it's 1 to 256. Okay. Right, it's only a div. No. Okay, so I have the div register, which is FFO4. Okay, so this is going to be 1 byte only, so a U8. Okay, and then the div APU is inside the APU. Okay. So on the APU, this is going to need to be a U8 as well. Then div is gonna be 0. As you wait. Okay, overflowing add count as you wait. Okay, and everything else should be unreachable. Okay, so here I'll get the ticks, and then when every 2, 1 every 4, 1 every 8, it should do this. Write data. I mean, maybe I could call it self.write data. You know. And now maybe if I move this inside, I can have like a self. This method takes 4 arguments. Borrowed data escapes outside of methods. Self escapes the method body here. Okay. Can I somehow fix this? Without using AI, because if I were to use AI, they'd pretty much tell me the solution. Okay, the thing here does... The issue here is this move. The issue here is that move. Yeah, that's the entire issue is that. Would I need to encapsulate these into... No, it would have the same issue. Da, 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 da. Bum, bum, bum. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. Write data next value. So this is like tick or self.tick or whatever. I mean, it would need to be a loop, pretty much. How do I make this work? I mean, I don't technically need this, do I? Is there a different build output stream that I could use? Something more generic? Build output stream raw, dynamically typed. Yeah, I mean, I do not know. I do not know what to do here. I think this is time to ask the LLMs, you know? Um, oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, I don't think I have a choice. This was always my Achilles heel with Rust, you know? Not knowing how the hell to do these callbacks while taking self. This is a classic Rust lifetime issue with callbacks that must be static. No shit, Sherlock. Build output stream requires callback closure to be static. But your closure captures. That implicitly captures mode self, which has lifetime 1, only valid inside run helper. Rust refuses because you are trying to let non-static references escape into a static closure. Okay. Fix use arc mutex. Holy fucking shit. Really? You need to give the callback honed thread safe access to your state instead of borrowing self. Instead of passing mute self, you should structure your code so self is inside an arc mute self. Holy. Damn. Is this really the the solution? I mean, if it works, I would be very happy. Let mute APU equals APU lock and wrap. I mean, this should be fast as hell because no one else is gonna be using this. APU write data channels. No. Okay, but self needs to do this. No. Arc new. Okay. Yeah. Now it's the issue with the messenger. Yeah, because now the messenger is not thread safe. Which is, not that fun. Which will probably require us to change these to use a different library, like Tokyo probably. I see. So essentially passing these into APU data. And the 0, sample clock 0, 0. Okay. I can call it data here instead of APU data. It's going to be self.data, self.data, self.data. This probably didn't make anything change. Okay. So what I want to do here is this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Okay, do they have an example with like threads or something? They had like this custom thing with an arc. Oh, controls, I see. Build output stream raw. Okay, so they will pass the controls here. And then what? Okay, so I pass on my host, which is this type. Then device, stream play, make stream. Okay, make stream. Oscillator dot. Then process frame. I mean, but process frame is not attached to anything. I mean, I could pass all of the data inside. Oh man. Why is Rust so difficult? Why is Rust so safe? I was able to at least put in the it's like sample beep, which just plays like a regular sinusoidal thing here. But now I'm trying to essentially rewrite it in a way that will allow me to integrate with the Game Boy, essentially. But now I'm battling like issues with Rust shenanigans like this. Receiver message cannot be shared between threads safely. Because essentially I'm running the APU as being its own thread, but then the APU will also spawn a thread for the audio. But inside that audio thread, I need to hold the reference to the APU so I can like modify this data. But because it also has this CPU receiver, then it's saying like, nah, you cannot do that. So yeah, that's the the current issue. Because what I would like to do, well, first I need to receive like ticks from the CPU, you see, which is like this self.div shenanigans here. So whatever I do here, we'll need to have access to this self.div that is being incremented like automatically outside of this. So maybe I don't even know. Maybe I'll just need to put this like this into a separate structure, and then I share this structure with the threads. You know, like rugged audio data, something like this. And I put this one inside, and this is going to be my data, arc audio data. Arc is just so it like can be shared like across threads. This is going to be a data, going to be an arc, new audio data. This is going to take div 0, sample clock 0. Yeah, and then here I can do let mute audio data equals self dot data dot clone. And then here I would do the audio data dot tick or something. I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this, amazingly. Impl audio data, and then I essentially want to have the tick there. Let config equals oh yeah, I already have the config there, so I could pass the the config here, supported stream config. I don't think I can pass a reference though. I don't think I can pass a reference. And this is gonna be might as well just put this here. This div. And for this div, I'll need to do a self.data.div that. But for this data, I'll need to .data.div. Okay. This still doesn't like the self. This still doesn't like the self. So self data clone here. Audio data. Cannot borrow mutable. Cannot borrow data in arc is mutable. Okay, because it needs to be an arc mutex, right? I think it needs to be this instead. Arc new. Mutex new. Audio data dot lock dot unwrap dot tick, and then it passes the config. Or let audio data equals this, then that. Okay, what's the issue now? Can't borrow mutable, local is mutable. Okay. Can I do a unmute? Okay, what's the issue now? Value used after being moved. Which value? No field div. Okay. Ay ay ay. Value used after being moved. What's being moved, my guy? I don't understand this. Method not found. There. I mean, sure. Right, data. Channels. Audio data. I don't know if this can be attached there to self. Probably not. Oh man, this is very tough. It's way tougher than I thought it would be. Just to setting up the architecture for this, you know. Audio data. Oh my god. Okay. Where is these channels coming from? From there. What the hell? Self.tick, and it passes the config. Stream config. Config self.tick. No, it's not self.tick, it's audio data.tick. Borrowed data. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, this fucking guy doesn't like self. Which is nice, whatever. Okay, what's the issue now? Move occurs because config as type stream config, which did not implement the copy trait. Okay, I need to clone it. Now what? Borrow of moved value audio data. Where are you being moved? Value moved there. Holy crap. Okay. So I'll need to do this. I see. Okay. This should play a sound. For 1 second. And then I'll need to return. Okay. Apologies in advance, by the way. Okay. Okay. Not terrible. It's not terrible. It plays one sound. Might as well do a message shutdown. Just so it returns there. You know. Shutdown. So it like exits properly. And all messages. Well, message shutdown unreachable. Wait, but this will receive a message shutdown from the GUI. Surely. Message shutdown. Return false. Return true. Okay, handle messages will get me a boolean. If not handle messages, return. Okay. Now this shutdown from the GUI. Yeah, this doesn't impact me at all. But I will need... Ay. Sorry. Ay. Okay, now from the GUI, I should be able to grab like a shutdown event or something. Close requested. Yeah. So this is going to be a self dot GUI to CPU dot send shutdown. You know. Is there more self GUI to something? No. Self dot PPU to LCD RX. Okay, so this will send to the CPU This will send to the CPU. And then the CPU will send it everywhere. Okay. So now on the PPU, whenever I get a message from the CPU receiver, I will exit here, and then on the APU, if I get this, I return there. So now if I play and I click, it stops like properly. Yeah, good job. Okay, I'm trying to figure out if I like this architecture, you know? I don't think I like any of this. I don't think I like anything about this. Mainly this part here. Mainly this. I don't like this. Okay, so instead of calling this write data, I'll call it tick. Okay, so this is ticking the APU. And this will and this will tick this. Okay. I kinda need to figure out what is the I kinda need to figure out what is the what? I don't even know. What is the what does the ba-ding sound on the Game Boy? Might as well just start with that one. You know. So maybe I could go on to the audio registers and maybe open the assembly here. HLA. So it writes a OX80. In hexadecimal, and 80 in hexadecimal is 128, so it's 1 2 4 1 2 4 8 16 32 64 days. So it turns on the audio. Okay, but all of the channels are still off. It then goes to FF11, which is, I don't know, but it must be something. Okay, it's the first audio register, channel 1. Then it goes increment C, and then goes to FF12, which is audio 1 volume and envelope. Okay, so it's only channel 1. Okay, so we only need to go with channel 1 for now. And then somewhere along the way, we should have another FF26 or something. Initializes, wait, increments, cutscene. Play sound number 1. So it jumps to address this. Play sound. Goes to FF13. It appears. FF13. And then FF14. Okay, what the hell is FF42? Viewport. No. Counting. Play sound number 2. 86. I mean, scroll up. I mean, it all appears to be channel 1. So we might as well just implement channel 1 for now. We might as well just implement channel 1 for now. Oof. This is going to be fun. Very fun. You know? So, what am I gonna need to do here? Well, I'll need a square channel. Apparently. Square channel. Okay, and then this is going to have a sweep bool waveform type, whatever that is, and then a volume type. Okay, then I'll have a waveform type, which will either be duty. I mean, no, this can be derived from this. But I'll have two types of waveform. So duty waveform and then a volume, so it's going to be an envelope. maybe sweep. Okay. So we'll have this. Good job. Then we have sweep, get waveform, and envelope. Okay, good job. And then on the audio data, we'll have 4 channels apparently. So we'll have channel 1, which is going to be a square channel. Channel 2, which is going to be a square channel. Well, let's just start with channel 1 for now. Let's start with this for now. Audio data new. FN new. Audio data. Okay, this is going to be a square channel. With I don't know if I need to do it like this, but whatever. Waveform is going to be a duty waveform.new, and the volume is going to be a volume envelope.new. Impulse sweep FF new. Thank you very much. Okay, impulse duty waveform FF new. Good job. Impulse envelope FN new, envelope new. Yeah. Okay, so here I'm setting the channel. Okay, I'm getting a call. Be right back. Hola, hola, we are back. Yeah, was needed to take care of some Amazon returns. Salutations. Yes, salutations indeed. Simonot, this plays a random wave sound. Did you hear it already? If not, I can play it for you. And now I need to start implementing the... I've been busy. Okay. It's only half a second. Cool, right? Very cool. So now I need... GG, chip it. Hooray! No, it's still not done. Very synth sounding, yeah. And now I need to not do a synth sound, but a square sound. Based on the values of like 3 different registers. And yeah, very fun. Very, very fun. See, like there are 4 different channels, 2 square channels, 1 wavy, 1 noisy. Yeah, and then I need to mix them into channels. I need to mix them essentially. Pulse width modulated. Cool. Yeah, so I will need to figure out how to do this math. You know, like for example, ignore the audio master control and the sound panning. But yeah, I will need to now go on here on channel 1, FF10, register FF10. Sounds pretty technical. Yeah, I have no idea what what am I supposed to do here. But sound channel 1 has a sweep, while sound channel 2 doesn't have a sweep. See, channel 1 has a sweep, channel 2 doesn't have. So I don't know. I'll need to do math, essentially. It's all math. Oh my god. But yeah, we can ignore everything besides channel 1, essentially. So channel 1 and channel 2 are pretty much the same, difference being that channel 2 doesn't have the sweep. You know? So that will be the situation here. I would say that whenever well, I'll need to figure out one part, which is that these ticks, the APU ticks at a different frequency from the CPU. And so I need to actually figure out what is a tick, you know? What is a tick? Like there's all these audio details, shenanigans, and then there's this APU. I guess like these updates, sweeps and lengths, and I don't know. The first quad channel is a frequency sweep controlled by NR10. This internally has a sweep timer, enabled flag, and the frequency period only. This enabled flag controls if the sweep unit is active. The sweep timer, I think the sweep is only like a modify frequency over time thing. The enabled flag controls if the sweep unit is active. The sweep timer is clocked at 128 Hz by the diff APU. So 1 every 4 APU clocks, div APU clocks. And the shadow register holds the current output period. What the hell is a shadow register? Oh boy, yeah. I mean, as I said, I one-shotted this with codecs, and it was like 1500 lines of code just for the audio math. So we have plenty of code to write. Ay, ay, ay. I'm just trying to figure out where to start. Triggering a channel causes it to turn on if it wasn't. If the channel's DAC is off, the channel will not turn on. Holy. Okay. And start playing its way from the beginning, except for pulse channels whose phase position is only ever reset by turning the APU off. Oh my god. if I was out of my element before, now it's like 10 times worse. The volume can be controlled in two ways. There is a master volume control, which is a separate settings for the left and right outputs, and each channel's volume can be individually set as well. Additionally, an envelope can be configured for channels 1, 2, and 4, which allows automatically adjusting the volume over time. Hooray! So for like fade-ins and fade-outs, I would guess. Yeah, yeah. And the parameters that can be controlled are the initial volume, the envelope direction, and its duration. Internally, all envelopes are ticked at 64 Hz, and every one to 7 of those ticks, the volume will be increased or decreased. All channels can be individually set to automatically shut themselves down after a certain amount of time. If the functionality is enabled, a channel's length timer ticks up at 256 Hz from the value it's initially set at. When the length timer reaches 64 or 256, the channel is turned off. Ay, ay, ay. Music notes and audio waves are typically manipulated in terms of frequency. That is, how often a signal repeats per second. However, as explained above, the Gameboy APU primarily works with duration, thus, periods will be used instead of frequency. Cool story, bruh. Audio registers are named following an NRXY scheme, where X is the channel number, or 5 for global registers, okay, and Y is the register's ID within the channel. Since many registers share common properties, a notation is often used where an NRX2 is used to designate NR12, 22, 32, and 42 at the same time. As a rule of thumb, for any X in 1, 2, 3, and 4, 0Y is some channel-specific feature if present. Y1 controls the length timer, Y2 is the volume and envelope, Y3 is the period, maybe only partially, and Y4 is the channel's trigger and length timer enable bits, as well as any leftover bits of period, but there are some exceptions. Whew. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this. You know, I'm not. So there's FF26, FF25, 24, FF10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Ay, ay, ay. Wave pattern, noise. Okay. In any case, here on the APU, this is read-only. Oh. Oof. Okay, read only by the ROMs. Okay, how do I want to do this? Okay, so here I'm getting these counters by one. A theory being that I should at the very least can I even print data here? I don't know if I can even print data here. Audio data .div. Let's see. This plays music, I'm sorry. Okay, it's all zeros. I mean, it's not supposed to be zeros. CPU receiver. Am I not getting data here? Maybe I'm not. Do I need to call tick inside? No. Okay, so here I'm getting this stuff here. But for some reason this data is not updated there. I wonder why. So I'm already doing something terribly wrong with this. Don't need the mute there. Oh, I'm being dumb. I'm being dumb. Div audio data.div. Cannot be Baba is mutable. Okay. Okay, what about now? Okay. Appears to work, kinda. $57, $89, $91, $100. This is weird. This is weird. These are all I mean, this is always 1, so this should be incrementing by 1. The thing is that this guy is probably running way faster. But then this is getting called a ton of times. So they're like fighting each other. The hell? So this gets called 65 times before. And now it was 68, so it's not even running properly. Very cool. Very cool. Will this even work? It does work. How do I do this? I should probably store. No, this is weird. So I get 58 advances, and then I run this a bunch of times. But I should increment things 58 times, which is not correct at all. Oh my god. Maybe I don't want to work with audio. Maybe I don't like audio. Maybe I don't like audio. Why is this getting called like a bunch of times? Yeah, I don't know how to fix this. So this callback, gets called like a bunch of times. Like 64 times or 32 times or something. For some reason. Could I somehow modify the number of channels? Can I create my own format or something? Yeah, how am I supposed to fix this? So I get a bunch of advances, and then I call this a bunch of times. But I cannot read the message there. Maybe instead of reading this in a loop, I only read it one by one. Oh no, hold on. I see. Okay, it's a little bit better. Okay, but maybe I only want to read like once, then get rid of the things. I mean, this still gets called a bunch of times. 68 times, then gets called out once. Then calls this a bunch of times, then calls that once. I don't know. I'm extremely overwhelmed because I don't know what I'm doing. But my theory is that this shouldn't have this big of a discrepancy. Or maybe I need to do something there. I mean, this should be updating 512 times a second. The Gameboy sound chip is called the APU. I've not got a single clue about this. Same queen. I have no fucking idea. The APU runs off the same master clock. What do you mean it runs out of the same master clock? Maybe I shouldn't be passing advances this way. For fuck's sake. I mean, I'm only advancing it by one. whenever this happens. And as far as I know, this is the only place where it's called, yeah. So I have no idea. I have no idea. The APU runs off the same master clock as the rest of the Game Boy, which is to say it is fully synced with the CPU and PPU. This also means that the APU runs about 2.5% faster off on the blah blah blah, increasing frequencies by as much as the sounding slightly higher pitched. Okay, maybe I can have it pre-running and then I'll just read the memory map and write to the memory map on my own and fuck the CPU. Because then I can be reading div all of the time. For fuck's sake. Oh, yeah. Div APU. The div APU counter is increased after every time div's bit 4 goes from 1 to 0. And therefore at the frequency of 512 Hz. Thus the counter can be made to increase faster by writing to div while its relevant bit is set, which clears div and triggers the falling edge. I mean, I could have this here, and then whenever I get an advance here, I could call audio data tick, for example, just so it checks if div is all of this nonsense here. And then I mean it can be even be the printing, right? That is too slow for this. But I could maybe get the APU tick shenanigans. Sorry, like updating the audio data here, where it will go to each channel and update the envelope sounds, frequencies, blah 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 blah, based on this .div. And then on the APU tick, it just reads wherever is on the audio data and writes it there, you know. But it's not an APU tick, it's like an APU process sound or output sound. I have no freaking idea. Okay, but let's pretend that okay, so I'll have the self div and then I'll do module 2 equals 0. This means self.update sound length. Then else if if self.div modulo 4, this means self.update channel 1 sweep. If self.div, yeah, I think I need to do kind of the same thing as I did for the other code, like just start writing fake code and then something will work. Update envelope sweep. Envelopes probably. Okay, so we already have might as well call them tick. Fan. Tick sound length. Fan tick. Tick frequency sweep. Fan tick envelope sweep. And this is channel 1 only. Channel 1 only. Okay, and output will be that, but I don't want output yet. Sample rate. Okay, can I actually like modify the sample rate of this? The number of samples processed per second for a single channel of audio. Okay, but what is the number of samples that the Game Boy has? Is it like who the fuck knows, right? There are no numbers anywhere. Avoiding audio pops. Wow. No freaking idea. No idea. But yeah, my what I was thinking is if I were to configure like the output device or channel or whatever to have the same settings as the Game Boy, that will probably make my life way easier. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, but it's fine. It's fine. We will manage. Okay, so first things first, we need to tick the sound length. Okay. All channels can be individually set to automatically shut themselves down after a certain amount of time. If the functionality is enabled, the channel's length timer ticks up at 256 Hz, tied to div APU from the values its initial set at. when the length timer reaches 64 or 256, the channel is turned off. So how would I go about this? How would I go about this? I mean, I really just want to have channel 1 playing, which is this one. So there are like 4 channels, then there are 4 ducts. Okay, so there's like 1 deck for each channel, apparently. Okay, and then they all go into a mixer, then a volume, then an HPF, and then out. I have no idea. Generator circuit. A DAC, digital to analog converter. Mixer. Oh my. Okay, I think we'll need to just force ourselves ourselves to go with it. Okay, so here we set up audio for this guy, where we essentially write 80, which is the 7th bit, to 1. So this essentially just turns this on. Okay, turning the APU off also doesn't mess up with the div APU. Okay, that's good to know. I mean, I think that for now we can just assume that the audio is always on. Okay, so FF26, then FF25, which is sound panning, which I also won't care about. This is also just setting like channel 4 left. Hold on, is it? No. 80, then decrements this and writes F3 to A. No, okay, we need to chill. Okay, so this writes the value of A to FF26, which is this. So it writes OX80, which is 128, which is the 7th bit, to this. And then it sets C to 16? 17. Okay. But then it writes it there and decrements HL by 1. Okay. And then it copies F3 243, okay, to A and writes it to FF25 and then decrements this and then writes 77 and writes this. So this is just volume. I mean, we can assume that we always have volume for now. And either the channels will generate a 0 or yeah, let's just assume we have like maximum volume every time, essentially. Essentially. Yeah. Let's just assume we have maximum volume. But I want to figure out how am I setting up the channels? Okay, so this is FF11 because C is 11. So FF11 and put a 80 there. So it's a wave duty that. Okay. Okay. And then FF12 and it puts an F3 there. So volume and direction of the envelope and sweep base. Okay. Okay, so this is only channel 1, which is again what we already knew. But we need to figure out the sweep mechanics. We need to figure out the sweep mechanics. How does the sweep work? Pulse channel. Okay, hold on. I need to start writing some. I'll probably need to like copy this table here somewhere. Okay. So this is what you need to have. So we have the square wave, the sweep, the duty, waveform, and the envelope on tick. So first on tick, I need to do that. Okay. But then I'll also need to do no, I don't know if I should do this on a here. Okay, because essentially now what I need to do somehow is one, I need to go over all of the registers that belong to channel 1, which there are 4 of them. So FF10, FF11, FF12, FF14, and FF14. And then there's the 4 of them for sound channel 2. Okay, maybe I want to pass an index here, just so I know if this is a 1 or 2. Okay. And channel 1 will be channel 1. Okay, and then we'll have an update function that does something. Well, it's not here. It's on the square channel. So impl square channel. Good job. We'll have a function called update. And if if index is different than 1, then I'll just like unimplemented. Good job. So here I'll need to go to self.update sweep, self dot update duty cycle, self dot volume update volume envelope. And then there's a period low and period high. This register stores the low 8 bits of the channels. Okay, update period. Okay. Okay. So now I'll need to update sweep. What does update the sweep mean? So it means that I will need to read from the memory map at index OXFF10, you know, and this will give me like a sweep value, a byte sweep value. Maybe I don't need any of this. Okay, let me just check this email. Okay, nothing relevant. Well, actually. Okay, cool. Okay, back to business. So this means that I'll be reading from FF10. This dictates how often the sweep iterations happen in units of 128 Hz ticks. Note that the value written to this field is not reread by the hardware until the sweep iteration completes or the channel is retriggered. Oof. However, if 0 is written to this field, space here, then iterations are instantly disabled, but see below, and it will be reloaded as soon as it's set something else. Holy. Okay. This dictates how often the sweep happens. On each sweep iteration, the period on NR13 and NR14 is modified and written back. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Okay, so the sweep is only for the... Sweep changes the frequency. Right? Because this will change the period. Okay, so... the duty cycle, but the duty cycle on a waveform also changes the frequency. So or this is only like a timer. situation. Holy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, guys, are you enjoying this content? I'm just incredibly frustrated right now. But if you are enjoying the content, please follow the channel. More frustration will happen for sure. Yeah. Or if you know an answer also, please tell me. Okay, let me think again about this. So, every 2 div ticks, we will update sound length. Which is supposedly this. Sound length. This register controls both the channel's length timer and duty cycle. The ratio of time spent low versus high. The selected duty cycle also alters the phase although the effect is hardly noticeable, except in combination with other channels. Initial length timer, write only. The higher the field is, the shorter the time before the channel is cut. Ay. Okay, guys, I think I need to take a break. I need to consider all of my life choices up to this moment because this is not being enjoyable at all. So yeah, I think I will need to go have some lunch now, you know. Put some food in me. Maybe that's the issue that I'm having. So yeah, I will take 45 minutes up to an hour maximum of break time, and then I will back for a second stream. So again, if you guys are enjoying the content, I would appreciate it if you guys could follow the channel. Also, this is my Discord server if you guys want to join and hang out with us and talk nonsense there, which is also really cool to do. And in any case, I'll get going. I will think off stream a little bit about this, trying to figure out what is like the best architecture. Whatever is happening right now, it's not working. So I will need to reassess life choices, and hopefully the afternoon stream will be a little bit better. Hopefully. So yeah, guys, I'll go get going. I'm gonna have lunch. I'm gonna enjoy the outside, although it's very cloudy and very yucky. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this light is very bright. Hold on. No, this one. Ah, way better. Way better. It looks more like me. Oh. No, guy. Go away. Go away. Yoink. GG. Okay, guys. I'll get going. I'm gonna have lunch. Yeah. And follow the channel if you want. And I'll talk to you later. Okay, see ya in about 1 hour. Bye-bye.